Welcome, stitch witches, to another video. Today we're gonna talk about everything we're going to knit, crochet in 2026. We will discuss the audiobooks for a tiny bit, but not too long. It is mostly about the projects. If you don't know what the stitch witches are, this is a knit crochet audiobook club where we do a project together every 2 months. The first month is gonna be a live show for where we start the project, where you can ask questions about knitting and crocheting in general, but also about the project. And then the second month is gonna be the live show for the audiobook we have listened to together, usually while making the project. And today we're gonna talk about all the projects and some of the books we're gonna read and make together in 2026. Over on the Discord, you guys have let me know what kind of project you wanted to do. There have been a poll where you could vote on which project you wanted to do most, and all the projects that we're discussing today is basically based on that poll. So if you want more help with knitting and crocheting than just the live show, or you want voting power as well, you're more than welcome to join the Discord. It is linked down below. It is totally free. The people are very nice. I feel like it is absolutely a safe space to be in. And I think it's going to be so helpful if you just want to show off your other projects too, or just want a bit more help with knitting or crocheting. There are loads of people there that can help you. Today we're going to talk about all the projects, but we're gonna name it, like we're gonna make a this or a this. And then I'm gonna show you some free patterns for both knitting and crocheting that I think would really work well for this. But with all these projects, please feel free to make your own this. Just make it your own and pick something that you would like. I am just giving you free options because that means that I have access to the pattern as well. And if you're new or you're having trouble with the pattern, I can see and I can try to help you. That is why the free patterns are there. But just feel free to do whatever you want to do in the same category. Like that is the thing we're doing. So let's start with January and February. So in January will be the live show where we start the project, and in February will be the live show where we discuss the audiobook. For January and February, we are listening to book 4 and 5 of the Vampire Knitting Club. You guys have voted on the last live show that you would like to continue with the Vampire Knitting Club. That percentage was 100%. So we all wanted to continue, so that's what we're doing. And I see that happening for the foreseeable future. That's why we're going to be short about the books this year in 2026. Because I feel like specifically probably the first half of the year is going to be the Vampire Knitting Club. Because a lot of us seem to enjoy it. And they're really short and fun. So. And you guys on the Discord, let me know that you really would like to make a bag. So that's what we're doing in January and February. I have chosen patterns for project bags because that is just handy to have. If you're, in a knitting and crocheting club, you have to have something to store your projects in if you want to take it with you or just keep it nice and clean inside the house. But please feel free to make the bag you want. I have seen people on the Discord with cute little animal pouches that they wanted to make. Please go then do that. I am going to make a project bag, but I would like to make the swatch bag. It looks like this. This is, however, a paid pattern. I'm gonna buy it because I have been saving swatches just to make this bag. I think it's gonna be so much fun to have a project bag where you just see swatches of previous projects. So I will be buying this pattern, so I can help you out with this pattern as well if you choose to. However, that is a paid pattern. And I want this to be very easy, low-key, easy to get into, if that makes sense. So the free patterns that I've chosen that are also round project bags are the crochet project bag for a crochet version and the 0603 project bag, which is the knitted version. Both of these free patterns are in the Ravelry pattern bundle. I will link the pattern bundle down below. That is the easiest way for me to link it. Otherwise, there are going to be too many links and YouTube is not going to have it. But I will link the full bundle down below. Every project, every free, cute pattern that I could find for the project we wanted to make that could work for 2026 are in there. They have comments that when it is that we're going to do those projects. So I think that is going to be very helpful. And I think it's going to be fun to make a project bag. However, if you want to make a grocery bag or any other bag, please feel free to do so. Share it on the Discord. We're just having fun. If it is a free pattern and you would like to link that in the Discord, please do so. That is extremely helpful. But that is the project for January and February. In March and April, we are going to make stuffies. You guys really wanted to make stuffies. This is the project I'm the most nervous about. I don't do well with stuffies. I don't have an interest to knit stuffies, to be honest with you guys. So that is going to be interesting for me, but you guys really enjoy it. So I really want to do it with you. And there is one pattern that I have been itching to crochet and I haven't done it for 3 years now. So maybe this is the year that I need to buy that pattern. However, it is a paid pattern, so that is not the one we're doing as a group, but it is a Frankenstein bear and it looks absolutely adorable. So maybe I'll make that one. I'm not sure. What I chose as a free pattern is the emotional support chicken. That is not what the pattern is called, but that is what we discussed during one of the live shows. And you all seem to like the emotional support chicken. So I have found 2 free patterns for chickens. One is crocheted, one is knitted. The crochet version is called the Wheat States Chicken. This is a paid pattern on Ravelry, but you can find it for free on her blog. And then the knit version is called Poppy the Chicken. They both look adorable, so I might just make the chicken. But also maybe Frankie the Bear. I'm not sure yet, but March and April is going to be stuffy months. So if you're making a stuffy, please share it on the Discord. If it is a free pattern, please feel free to share it. The patterns for the chickens are both in the Ravelry bundle, where you can find all the patterns for the Stitch Witches in 2026. And some of the ones we did last year. In May and June, it is time to make socks. I am so excited about this. Knitted sock is one of my favorite things. It is so cozy and comfy. It keeps me warm so well. And it is going to be one of my goals in 2026 to make socks for myself instead for other people. So I was very pleased that some of you are interested in making socks. So I have found free patterns for just basic vanilla socks. That's what you call them in knitting. I'm not sure if that is the term in crochet, but that is the term I'm going with. So that means stockinette socks, straight to the easiest socks. Obviously, if you want to make harder socks, like with cables, with lace, with colorwork, feel free to do so. Please share it on the Discord. I like to see it all. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make yet for socks. It could be a vanilla sock because I love those and I make them a lot. But I'm also really craving a cable sock as well as colorwork socks. So I might just dip into one of those harder ones those months. I might make multiple pairs of socks those months because I really want more socks for myself. So these 2 months might be a good way to focus on that. But the 3 patterns I chose are I'm So Basic Socks by Summer Lee, which is a very, very popular pattern. It is the standard vanilla sock. It is stockinette with a heel flap and gusset. That is the heel that fits the most amount of people. Even if you have a high arch on your foot, this heel fits. People do call it the hardest heel. It is the heel I usually do. It's the heel I did first. In the Ravelry bundle, there will both be 3 patterns for top down, so starting at the calf, and toe up. And then for the crochet version, I have chosen the Satisfaction socks by Amy Kate Sutherland. They looked like the basic socks. I have never crocheted socks before. I am a tiny bit hesitant about the structure of the crochet stitches and how that is gonna feel. So I think these 2 months I will definitely crochet a sock and try it out, because I just have to get it over it. I just have to try it and see if it works for me or not. So I am super excited about those. I both have a toe up and a cuff down version for crochet as well. With all these projects, you will get a more in-depth video of what you need, what you can customize, what you have to think about if you're gonna make that project. Like with socks, if you want an easier heel, they are available, but maybe not try them if you have a high arch, stuff like that. I think specifically for the socks, it's gonna be very important, and I'm going to make a separate video on that for you, so you can choose what materials and what kind of needles and hook stuff like you need. But I'm very excited about the socks, guys. And then in July and August, it is garment time. We have been talking about making garments. And we're not doing full sweater mode just yet, because it is in the midst of summer. But how about a summer top? I have found a few cute free patterns, like a lot, that are either sleeveless or short sleeved, both in crochet and knitted. They're all down in the Ravelry bundle. And, you know, it is a garment. It is going to be in the round. I've chosen top down in the round so you can fit it on as you go. So you don't have to hassle for the first time. If this is your first garment, you don't have to hassle with top down, and it is very hard to fit in them. But it's sleeveless, so it takes a lot less time. It is usually very quick projects. Unless you're doing it on fingering weight, then obviously it takes longer. But then you have something wearable, and I think going sleeveless for the first garment isn't a bad idea at all. It is way faster. It is less fabric you have to knit or crochet, so obviously that is helpful. So I thought it would be fun, and then we can do a video about summer fibers, stuff like that. I think it's going to be loads of fun. And then in the last 4 months, I have decided to make it 4 months instead of 2. So we're doing it from September until December. We are actually going to make sweaters. I am so excited for this. I'm so excited for you all to try and make sweaters, and I'm sure you're gonna exceed. It's gonna be amazing. I really like sweaters. I think a lot of us do. And I am always cold, but knitted and crocheted sweaters is what's keeping me warm, and I'm not as cold anymore. And I absolutely love it. I have chosen the Barley raglan. It is both in DK weight as well as worsted. It is a raglan. It is from the top down. But it does have a little bit of patterning in the sleeve, so I think that is cute. I also have a very basic vanilla one. And I also have the crochet versions. They're all free. They're all linked down below. But I thought, you know, I am a very slow knitter. So it usually takes me 2 to 3 months to make a sweater. On the other hand, a Warsaw sweater took me 8 days. So you might be able to do multiple sweaters in the 4 months. But if not, you at least have all the time. And I don't want you to feel rushed. So the last 4 months of the year is gonna be sweater weather activated. And you can ask me anything you want. Obviously, you do not have to make these free patterns. You can pick any sweater pattern you want. It is a style choice, definitely. So it is very personal. So please pick something nice to you. It is just that if you use a free pattern, I have access to it too. And I can look in a pattern and help you more easily. That's all. But I'm sure we can figure it out if you do a paid pattern. I might own a paid pattern. Who knows? So that is all the projects we're going to do in 2026. I am super excited about it. I am obviously the most excited about the wearables, the socks, the garments. But I think it's just going to be loads of fun again. I foresee that we will be reading the Vampire Knitting Club for a while. If not, that will be announced again that we're gonna change. It is usually decided on the live show. It will be, you know, I will let people know in the Discord and stuff. So if you want to join, I do highly suggest you join the Discord. It is just a lot of fun. But that's it. I hope you're as excited for the projects for 2026 as I am. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe if you want to see more chaos from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!